Okay, so I'm not very quick at putting these videos out, but a couple weeks ago I made some bacon cheeseburger jalapeno poppers. It's basically just some beef and cheese wrapped in bacon, stuffed in a jalapeno. But I did record how to make it, and we'll look at that now. All right, so first we're gonna get this beef into a pan. We gotta cook up the beef first. I have one of these chop and stir things that makes cooking up ground beef really easy. Actually, I have multiples of these because I do a lot of this. But that's the first step, is to get that cooked. Then we're gonna drain it. We're gonna all that grease off so that it doesn't make, so it'll feel good and be nice and thick to put in these jalapenos. All right, so we dumped some cream cheese into our mixer.
It's good.
Now you can soften this cream cheese, it works better that way, but I just tested it here. I didn't soften that, but I poured the beef, hot beef on top of it. And by the time I got the cheese in and got to stirring, it melted good anyway. So it was a block of cream cheese. It's about 1.5 cups of cheese, shredded cheese with that pound of beef. Then we get some salt and pepper. And then of course, you know, Sadie wants to salt it too, so we let Sadie salt it as well. Now we get our KitchenAid mixer, and we're just gonna blend this up really well. And then Sadie, she wanted to scoop up stuff.
You better give me a big scoop so I can be full. That's not. Good.
All right, now we're gonna take a break from that and make one of the sauces. So first, we're cutting up an avocado here. We're gonna make our avocado ranch sauce. So we got an avocado cut up. We got a jar of ranch, which was 8 ounces. The ingredients are all down in the comment, or not in the comments, in the description. But this is just gonna be 3 ingredients. These sauces I made are easy. This is an avocado, a cup of ranch, and 2 tablespoons of lime juice. When I first made this sauce, I forgot the lime juice, but you'll see me add it here in a little while. But I used a masher, like a potato masher, I think is what they're called, to mix it up, and then I got a whisk out to make it more smooth. What are you eating? Are you eating all the ranch? So as I said, I forgot the lime juice, but here it is. I'm adding it in right after I got done with it. And get that put in the fridge. Now we're gonna make a raspberry sauce with some raspberry jam and some water. The amounts are down below. I don't wanna say the wrong amounts, but they're down below. But all you do is you stir it together a little bit, let your daughter stir it together a little bit, pop it in the microwave for, 30, 50 seconds. My microwave's not very powerful, so I have to go higher, but just to loosen it up, then stir it again. And then we're gonna make our sriracha mayonnaise. Another easy one. It's 2 ingredients again. Cup of mayonnaise, 2 tablespoons of sriracha. You can adjust the amount of sriracha depending on how hot you want it. This is pretty good for me, especially since it's going on jalapenos that likely have a few seeds that didn't make it through or whatever. But we're gonna give this a quick stir and have this sauce ready to go. All right, now we're gonna cut the jalapenos. We cut the ends off. We cut them all in half lengthwise. And I use a spoon here to scrape out the seeds and the stem and all that. Get them all ready to go. For amount of jalapenos, it's usually somewhere in the 14 to 18 range. I usually fix up 16 to start, and I have a couple left over in case I need them. My camera got a little bit blurry here for a minute, but this time I had 16 that I cut up and I had 2 left, but Sadie was watching me make them, and I had enough to go ahead and use the last 2 even, but Sadie wanted some of the mixture to eat just by itself. So I stopped at the 16 peppers, which makes 32 poppers, right? I stopped at that and gave it to her. But now we're just basically going to take a spoonful of this mixture and put it in each jalapeno. I use my hand to kind of stuff it in and flatten it out. And we're going to get all these put it in the container. Now I got a pack of bacon and I cut it in half. We're taking each half slice of bacon and wrapping around the jalapenos. Now this just barely fits. And you'll see me do this here in a little bit. But I'm also gonna take all these peppers and put a toothpick at the front of the bacon and the back of the bacon. So both sides of the bacon. If you don't do that step, the bacon will shrink and likely come off of most of these. So I do that to keep it from coming off of the thing. I started with a pound of bacon, and I was about 4 peppers short with that first pound. So I needed like 2 more slices of bacon, basically, that cut in half. And now we're getting toothpicks in. I have my pan set up with the tray so that it's not just cooking in the grease and getting greasier as it goes. If you want it to be greasier, then just don't use the cooling rack. But the toothpicks also help hold them in place on that rack so that they're not moving around, because the toothpicks go through all those little holes. Now I baked these in 2 batches because it all wouldn't fit on one pan. So here's pan 1, and we're going to put it in this oven we have going at 400 degrees. Now depending on your oven and how done you like it, it could take 15 minutes, it could take 30 minutes. Just when the bacon's done, it's done. But here's all of it. Then you got to go through and take 2 toothpicks out of all of them. I mean, people can do this when they eat too, but I just go ahead and take the toothpicks out. It does stick a little bit sometimes to the pan, so be careful removing them so you don't rip the bacon off. And then we have our finished product, some bacon cheeseburger poppers. And we have 3 dipping sauces with it to take to our potluck. I came home with exactly 1 of these left. There was 1 popper left when I came home, and I ate it shortly after I got home.